Hello, I'm the creator of trapchess. Welcome to a game of Stockfish versus Stockfish in trapchess. To accomplish this, I go to chess.com/analysis. I make the first move, and then I press the spacebar to have Stockfish make the best move. Then I mimic those moves on the trap chessboard. When a landmine activates, I set up the new position. One move before the landmine activation, I make a move to have the board match, and then I can continue to use the spacebar mechanic. All landmines are hidden in the board randomly, accounting for 32 booby trap squares. This makes for some unique trap chess games at a high level. I'll talk about the game, or trap chess in general, throughout the game. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Also, please comment which move you'd like to see played first, and I'll choose one for a future video. Now, on to the trap chess game. I made the first move of the game, e2 to e4. Here's the first trap activation of the game. A pawn landmine has activated on e5, removing black's pawn. You can see on the left-hand side that Stockfish shows that white has a greater advantage now. Black has retreated their queen back to the d8 square. Having your queen in the center of the board is powerful, but early on in the game it's easy for your opponent to force you back, so black preemptively moved their queen back to avoid this. Here is the second trap activation of the game. White has lost a pawn to a pawn landmine on the h3 square. They were trying to prevent black from putting their bishop on the g4 square, but now black can take that square. Two pawn landmines have activated back to back. First, black lost a pawn, and then white lost a pawn. You can see that Stockfish gave an advantage to white, and then white lost the advantage when the second landmine activates, and now the game is pretty much even again. Black attempted to move their rook into the action and lost it on the c8 square. This means now that white is up an entire piece, and that piece is a rook. I don't fully understand black taking with their rook on the e4 square when they could have used their knight instead. The rook is a more valuable piece, and they're going to get taken back on that square, so they could have lost a knight instead of a rook. However, this is Stockfish playing, and Stockfish does things that I wouldn't be able to understand because Stockfish is the world's best chess computer. White putting their rook on e1 means they now control the e-file. Black won't be able to move their king on the e-file because they would be in check, and putting any of their other pieces there unprotected will lead to white being able to capture them. White has offered a bishop trade and black has taken it. Normally it's not a good idea to accept trades when you're down on points and position, but it doesn't look like black has much of a choice. White has moved their rook to c3, and their next move may be rook to h3. It looks like they're attempting to attack the weakness on the h-file that black has. If they're able to get their rook and queen together, they may be able to go in for a checkmate, or take black's queen and black won't be able to stop them. White was going to lose their rook no matter what they did. They chose to move it to e7 rather than have the f5 pawn take it because they didn't want the f5 pawn to have the potential to become promoted. Now the f5 pawn is stuck on f5. White is maneuvering their queen to protect their pawn while they attempt to promote it. This strategy will work and they'll win unless there's a landmine waiting for them and they lose one of those pieces. White has successfully promoted their pawn to a queen, so it looks like this game is going to end in checkmate soon. Thank you for watching. Please comment any thoughts you have on trap chess. Also, please like and subscribe to help make trap chess a reality. Up next, I'll show the locations of all of the non-activated landmines.